Welcome to Cartomancy Mesquite. I'm Angela. Hello. Today I thought I'd just do a pop-up live to see if anybody was around, but I guess y'all are busy. I was going to record this, but I just decided to do a pop-up live. I wanted to demystify the tarot card because everybody's always having a cow whenever they get a tarot card in their reading. And I don't see it that way. To me, it's just, a function of time. And as I explain it, you'll see why it's just a function of time. Okay, generally the Tower card starts with what looks like a disaster. Okay, that's the start of it. Yeah, it's going to be a disaster to start. But that's very short-lived because as soon as the Tower is fast, it comes down quick. And the Tower in and of itself, what comes down is something that you really needed to get rid of. It wasn't something that you needed to hang on to. You needed to step out of that. Whatever that Tower was, you needed to get away from it to start with anyway. So in fact, it's kind of a good thing when your Tower comes down because whatever it is that comes down is something you needed to step away from and needed to step away from it bad, or it wouldn't go out with this much of a kerfuffle. Now, I looked through a lot of decks and I got a lot of different cards out. And I read their meanings. Let's see, where's this one? Okay, here we go with the Influence of the Angels Tarot. Where's the meaning on here? It's a rude awakening, realizing the truth. Long-standing beliefs are suddenly shown to be wrong or false. Shock, mental or emotional description of what happens after being enlightened by the truth. Assessing the situation and acknowledging the need for a rebuild. Yeah, you do. It is a time when you need to rebuild. You're going to know that immediately. Once the Tower comes down, okay, number one is the beginning. Number one is when that Tower comes down. Number two, as in all your number two cards, they're going to be, it's where you start to plan, where you start to see what has all fallen down. And you start to make that plan for recovering. And then the three is when it starts to come, when your plan starts to come together and you're starting to realize what you have left. You look at what's left, what you can salvage, and what needs to go. And the three is what I look for. When the Tower has come down, first thing I do is assess the situation, look at what's left, start to put together a plan as to what to do with all of this stuff that's fallen down, whether to get rid of it or whether to keep it. And that's how you build to your foundation. And I start looking for my threes. When you start seeing things come in three, that's when you know that your Tower is being overcome, that disaster is no longer a serious problem. It's working its way out when you see those threes. Now, my last Tower, I had a Tower in my cards for like a year. I've had that going on for like a year. Now, when my Tower hit, it was fine. I've been through a Tower moment before, and I started looking around and started getting things done. But it took like a week, maybe 2 weeks before I started seeing my threes. And one of my first threes was 3 big black trash bags that I had filled with cardboard. I had received a lot of packages and hadn't gotten rid of all that cardboard. So when I started putting that cardboard in the bags, and it came to just 3 bags, that was my first three. What you're looking for is 3 threes. It was the 3 bags. And then I found when I started clearing things, that I had 3 hampers of laundry that needed washed. So that was my second 3. And that's the way you see things. You'll notice them. I know my tower is going to be over soon when I start seeing my 3s. And my third 3 was I had 3 pieces of furniture I had to get rid of. 3 pieces of furniture were done. That was it. They were no good anymore. Time to get them out of the house. That's where you know that your tower is, when you see your 3 3s, you're pretty much over your tower moment. You don't need to sit and wallow in it or feel sorry for yourself or, be afraid that anything else is coming, because once you see that third 3, you're through the tower part. Now it's time for the recovery and the rebuilding. And I've looked at a lot of these tower cards, and they're all pretty much the same. Like this one's from the Out of Hand deck. See, it shows things falling down, people falling down. You may lose people out of a tower moment. You can lose anything out of a tower moment. You can lose money. You can lose a place to live. You can lose a car. You can lose your respect for somebody that you really admired. A tower can be losing all respect for someone. It can be losing anything. So you've got to look at it from that perspective. You're losing something. However, what's left when you get done with that tower is a strong foundation. There's always a foundation left to build on. And that's what you want to build on. You don't want to build on, absolutely nothing. You want to have a strong foundation for what you rebuild and what you recover. And it really is that simple. If you just look at it as numbers, look at it numerologically, and you'll see you've got your 1, the tower hits. 2, you start to make your plan to recover, and that's the same even for a natural disaster. The first thing I do after a natural disaster hits is look for what I've got left. What can help me get through this situation? And that's how I do it. I get my shit together, start looking for what I need to do to recover the situation. And then the 3 is how you recover. The 3 is that plan coming together. You got your plan at 2, then 3 is that plan coming together. Even on just a regular 3 card, you pull a 3 card in tarot, you're looking at a collaboration of some sort. 3 is people coming together or things coming together. And then 4 is that strong foundation. So once you've got your 3 3s, you've got your foundation. And that's when I know I can totally relax once I've seen my 3 3s after a tower moment. Yeah, it's just it's easy. I can just let all the emotions go of the situation, drop it, and start working on the future, going forward. And like in this tower card and a lot of tower cards, you can see all different kinds of things coming down with that tower. It shows a lot of things, a lot of different things. Tower cards can be very different. I went through a lot of decks to find the meanings, to read meanings and look at what they show. See, and this is literally the spire coming down, or the whole thing exploding and coming down. Now, my favorite definition that I found out of all of these decks is the one out of the Out of Hand deck. Now, the meaning for the tower, probably should have got out my magnifying glass. This is a little writing here. Here, the tower is turning over a new leaf, sometimes requires uprooting the whole tree. I like that. That really hits it. Then there's no going back to the way things were. Words are said. Actions have been taken. Tomorrow you can sort it all out. and see what's worth saving. That's exactly the way I look at it. So when you have that tower, you've got your one, it's going to hit. Two, you're making your plans and looking at what you have left. And then those threes hit, and you know your tower moment is over, you're rebuilding. The first thing you're going to look for when you rebuild is that foundation. What are you going to build upon? What are the little things you can do, or the things you have left that you can build upon that foundation? And then your fives are the bit of chaos when you're starting to put things back together. The six is the community around you, your friends, your family, whoever's around, whoever's left, because some people may leave. But that community will help bring that tower to an end, will help rebuild and help recover. And you just keep on going from there until you reach your 10 or your completion. But you just followed the numerology of the thing. And like I said, it starts with the one, the tower hits. The two, you look at what you have left to get over the situation. What can you recover? And then when you see three threes, and these are going to be three different things. And I had another three in there that I had forgotten about. I had 3 boxes that had little things in them that I had to send to 3 different places in 3 different ways. I had to send a box to a friend. I had to send a return to Amazon. I had to send the old router, the broken router for my Wi-Fi, back to AT&T. That was another 3. But once you've got those 3 threes, you know you're well on your way to being over your tower moment. And that's the best way to look at it, because a tower is a major upheaval. It always is. But major upheavals don't have to be bad. And they don't have to be, destroying your life. I mean, it's not going to destroy you just because, everything crashes around your head. I expected my tower to have something to do with my house, because I had just gotten over a big fight with the city about my assessment. I had a big legal battle. I was fighting with my homeowner's insurance about the covering of the roof. They refused to pay for the roof hail damage. It was really bad, and they still haven't done anything about it. And then I was having to deal with my health insurance. They weren't wanting to pay anything either. So I figured that was my tower. Nope, it wasn't. I won the legal battle with the city, but I'm still fighting with my homeowner's insurance. Yes, State Farm, my entire neighborhood, all the houses around me in a circle, all of those houses got their roofs replaced. No problem. They all had Nationwide. I had State Farm. Wonder what the difference was. Shout out to State Farm. I want everybody to know. Yeah, the State Farm was the difference. I'm still having discussions with them. But that was not my tower. My tower wasn't about my house. My tower wasn't about my legal problems with all these people. What I did, I recovered so far as my health insurance is concerned. I just changed to another provider. So now everything is starting to get planned and put in place. Appointments are being made, and I'm recovering. So things are getting better. But those weren't my tower. My tower came down. It was one day. All it took was one day for my tower to come down. And that's when I started putting things back together, looking at what I had left, looking at what I had to clear away, and getting things running again, getting my life back in order and getting things running again. It took that one day for the tower to come down. And when I saw that tower come down, that's when I knew I was fine. Things were done. Okay, once the tower hits, it's done. Once the tower hits, the damage is over, but then you have the recovery. And you don't have to do your recovery in one day. Always keep that in mind. No matter how big the disaster is, this recovery has taken me probably 2 months so far, and I'm pretty much over it. But it was a lot of cleanup. There was a lot of cleanup to do, a lot of things to get rid of, and a few things I needed to get to put things back together again, to get my household running, to get my cat and dog happy again, to get them not scared. It scared them pretty bad when the tower hit. But everybody's back healthy, happy, and normal now. Things are going the way they should. Me, I'm recovering. I'm going to have some little surgeries done and some physical therapy and a lot of different little things like that, but I don't expect anything big. I know I have 3 surgeries to look at, but three little surgeries. It's not going to be more than 10 stitches on each one, so I'm not worried about it. I've been through all that before. That's an easy recovery. So I'm putting things back together. Things are getting back to normal. And everything is getting settled and right with the world here in my house. I'm putting back together the healing atmosphere. This has always been a healing sanctuary. I've had many people come through here. Many people come and they stay with me for a while. One person stayed 3 years. And him and his girlfriend moved in. He had cancer. I got him to the point where he realized that he wasn't going to die immediately just because the doctor said so. And when he left, he bought himself a house. He moved to Lake Tawakoni. He got a house right on the water, and he went fishing, and he lived another 10 years. He was supposed to die in less than 6 months. He lived another 10 years because of a persistent little healer that wouldn't let him get away. And he moved out to a house, and he had a nice 10 years. He died just about 1.5 years ago, but he had good last 10 years. In fact, I don't think it's bragging or taking any credit. I'm not going to take credit for it, but he had a happy 10 years. Those were probably the happiest of his life because he realized that he had limited time, that he needed to enjoy life instead of worrying about inconsequential things like the stuff that comes down and goes away when you have that tower moment. When he realized that the stuff that goes needs to go, then he was less attached to things that weren't as important as he thought they were. And he was able to leave with a light heart and able to walk away and go do his fishing. He still could physically, he was able to do a lot more because of what we went through and talked through with him. When he understood what was important and what wasn't important, then he had a better life. And I was happy, very happy for him. But people have been through here many times. And now I'm putting my healing room back together, the healing vibe of my house, and things are settling down nicely. But I just wanted you to understand that the tower isn't a big fearful thing. The tower is generally a good thing. When you get done through a tower moment, when you work your way through it, you got your 3 threes, and things are starting to come back together, you realize that it wasn't all that scary after all. It wasn't all that scary. You didn't lose as much as you thought you did. You were losing. When that tower comes down and you see furniture going out the door, you have all these bags of trash to get rid of, you've got all this laundry to do, you've got all this stuff to clean up. Once it's done, you're good. It's an inconvenience for a while. That's all the tower card is. It's an inconvenience for a while, and then you build something good on top of that new foundation. And that's the Tower card. Not so scary, is it? It's not all that scary. I just wanted y'all to know that. Y'all have a good rest of your weekend and enjoy the week ahead. And if you get a Tower card in your cards, don't worry about it all that much. Just realize that you have something to recover from, and you will recover. It's not that big a deal. You'll lose a few things, but then the things you lose will uncover that shiny new foundation. Oh, hi, Diana. You fell asleep, huh? Are you going to be ready for our Oracle Garden readings tomorrow? And then you missed the show? Well, you didn't miss it because I was going to record this and I didn't schedule our Oracle Gardens because you were busy today. So we'll do the Oracle Garden readings tomorrow. I just went through an explanation of the Tower card, why it's not so scary, why things aren't such a disaster when you have a Tower moment, and how to recover from it. It takes, you just got to go through the numbers. If you look at it as just numbers, like straightening out your checkbook, you have the 1 when the Tower hits, the 2 when you look around and start planning your recovery and you look at what's left and what you need to get rid of, and then you start seeing your 3s, that 3 bags of trash going out the door, those 3 packages you have to send off, 3 hampers full of laundry you need to wash. When those things are done, when you see your 3 3s, your Tower is over. Relax. Things are coming back together. Okay, let me put you up where I can see you here. Okay, promise. You know how things had a domino effect these past few days? Yeah. Yeah, I do. I understand those domino effects. And those come into play in the Tower card too. It's really not, Tower card isn't as scary as everybody makes it out to be. Everybody thinks it's a big disaster that's, the end of everything. It's not. I can't even recall if I've already had 3, if I've had all 3. Well, it really doesn't matter. If your Tower took place and then you did your planning and recovery, you see your first 3. When you see that first 3, you're just looking for the second one. It's the birch tree and rebirth. Yes. Yeah, the Tower is all about rebirth, the recovery, rebuilding. But it's a new start. That's the one very lovely and endearing thing about the Tower is you've got a new start. Yeah. You've got a new start. Things will come back better than they were. And that's what you do with your Tower card. You just look for those 3s. Yep. You'll see your 1, like I saw my 3 trash bags, 3 boxes, 3 hampers of laundry, and then you're done. So I guess I've prattled on enough about it. What's that, Diana? Guess I'll know when my mechanic calls me in the morning about number 3. It could have been just towing it the second time over to him. Yeah, that could have been the end of it. But you're onto the recovery phase already. Your Tower has come down. You've made your plans and figured out what to do. And now 3, you're getting things put back together. You're watching for your 3s. when you see your threes. You're all done. Disaster's over. Tower's done. And you got your new foundation to get started again. And with you, it seems like you're going to have a whole brand new car. With what you've had with that car over the last year, you've got a brand new car now nearly. I can't think of what's left for you to recover on that one. You're welcome. I'm glad I could help. I didn't expect to help one of my best friends right here, right now, but yeah. You know, if I think about it, that you're absolutely right, because next month I want next new tires. Yeah, there you go. See, that's another one of your recovery moments. And the new tires are pretty much all that's left. So enjoy your brand new car. That's how I do cars anyway. I always buy a used car. It's always a Buick or a Cadillac. I'll put about $5,000 into them, no matter what condition. I've bought a Cadillac for $1, and I put $5,000 into it. That included a new paint job, and I put over 200,000 miles on that car. They're brand new when you're done with them, and it's always Buicks and Cadillacs for me. You can always recover a Buick or a Cadillac. Other cars, I'm not sure of. But you love your Subaru, so I would say that's a good one too. That's worth it. That's worth putting it back together. Because when you buy a brand new car, you don't gain anything. A brand new car there's nothing that you gain. As soon as you drive it off the lot, it loses 50% of its value. Now with my new Buick that I just got, I'm rebuilding the driver's side door. I'm making it comfortable and happy for me. Between last spring with the catalytic and rear bearings, 2 windshields, front and back, now hoses. Yeah, there you go. Yep. You've got a brand new car. Your tower came down. Everything was cleared away, and you started building new. Yeah. It's kind of like a big breath of fresh air when you think about it. Once everything's cleared away, and the headlight burnout and an oil change. Yeah. Once you get done all that stuff, you've got a brand new car. Thank you. I love being right. And I'm glad I'm right. And in your case, yeah, I'm glad I'm right, because now you've got a car that'll last you. Yep. One that you love. And I'm waiting to find out what this Buick's name is. I haven't asked it yet, but I will before I get the next thing fixed on it. I'm rebuilding the driver's side door to make it easy for me to get in and out. It has little things wrong with it, tiny things. I have problems with the window rolling up and down, and then the key fob needs fixed because it doesn't lock and unlock the door. Scooby-Doo, I like that. You always got to name your car. They're a good friend. Yep, that's yours. Now I got to find a name for mine. Got to name my new Buick. Yeah, give it a thought. I'm going to ask it tonight and see what it says in the morning. Yeah, it's going to be nice. It's going to be nice. The Mighty Bee. I like that. I've been through a lot of cars because I've always driven. when I was a real estate broker in Florida for those 15 years, I was running. Here we go. Oh, it's white. Yeah, it's a white one. But when I was a real estate broker, I was running from all the way up and down the East Coast, buying and selling properties. So you go from Maine to Key West, you've made a trek. I put a lot of miles on that Cadillac. That one earned its earthly rest. That's the one I paid $1 for. And I put $5,000 into it. And I did well over 200,000 miles on that car. Yep, that's what I'm going to do with this Buick. I've already started, got my little things that I know that I want to fix. And I'll make it a brand new car. Yep. Think of the play on words with B. Yeah. I'll do that. But I'll listen too for the answer I get. I'll ask my guides when I go to bed tonight, and I'll ask my Buick when I go to bed tonight. By the time I wake up in the morning, I think I'll have that name. Yep. And I'll know what to call it. Bumblebee, yeah, that would fit. I got in it the other day, and a wasp flew in with me, went for a ride. At least I didn't react like my grandson. I had a grandson that was terrified of wasps. He didn't hit the brake. He didn't do anything but open the door and roll out of the car. Luckily, it wasn't too bad. The car just ran off into the ditch. But I had to go for a ride with me. She came back home, and I let her out, and she went back to her nest. Got lots of bees and wasps here. My neighbor has a fig tree. Yep, I thought it was kind of funny. And I enjoyed the laugh it gave me, remembering about my grandson letting the car run into the ditch because a bee got in the car. It's kind of like, I'm always telling him, I'm telling him, look, you're bigger than the bee. Yeah, they love that fig tree. My neighbor's fig tree is full of bees. They absolutely adore that tree. And it's on one side of my house. And I tell the bees, you can have nests on that side, but the other 3 sides of the house are a no-no. We argue about it from time to time. Yeah, we have a bit of a tussle over it now and then when they want to put a nest, on my little patio set. It's on the porch. Or yesterday, one wanted to come in the house. I said, no, you got to build your own house. Get your little butt back out there. We aren't having bees in the house. So he's going to have to build his own. I don't mind them all, but, we've got to set boundaries. Reasonable boundaries is what we have. And we stick to those. That way I don't have to be killing bees all the time, and they can live their lives the way they're supposed to and enjoy them. I don't like killing anything, so I would rather have the bees just build their nests outside on that side of the house. They don't like wind chimes and whirligigs. Oh, thank you. I will take that right in hand. Yeah, my grandson used to love those when he was little. The littlest grandson. Yeah. He used to love those things. Spell check sucks. Yes, it does. Absolutely. I agree with you wholeheartedly. And sometimes it just flat out changes words completely on me. They're a mess. Autocorrect. Hi, Teresa. It's good to see you. Yeah, you're going to have to watch the replay. Diana and I had quite a conversation here on the tower card on how it isn't always a disaster. Well, it's never really a disaster if you know what you're doing with it. You have your tower hits. Number two, you do make your plan of recovery. And number three is you start looking for your threes. That'll tell you it's over and you're done. Doesn't like whirligig. Yeah, autocorrect hates whirligig or any similar words. But I just want y'all to remember that tower cards aren't big disasters. They may look like it or feel like it for a minute or two. But if you keep your head together, let your tower fall, you'll have something nice and new to build on. That nice new clear foundation where you can start things over. Yeah. Thank you. I'm glad you like that. Because you don't have to be the disaster. You know, you don't have to fall apart because you've had a tower card or a tower moment. It doesn't require falling apart. It's good to see you, Teresa. I'm glad you came. And good to see you, Diana. I guess we'll see each other tomorrow doing Oracle Garden readings if you would like. I'm sure everybody probably missed them today. I just figured I'd do this one as a pop-up live. I was going to record it, but I figured a pop-up live would be just as good. And I think it turned out that way. Yep. Okay. We'll do those Oracle Garden readings tomorrow at 1 my time. I guess it's 2 your time, I think. We'll do them in the afternoon at 1 Central, 2 Eastern, I think. There you go. All right. Oh, yeah, I see what they did. They messed, yeah. Yeah, and it didn't correct that. Of course, it's autocorrect. Thank you, Teresa. And you have a blessed Sunday, too. Enjoy your day, and I hope your week goes wonderfully for you. And Diana, you can have a good rest of your day. Enjoy your week, and enjoy that new car. When you get done, it'll all be brand new. Hope my car is done early. They have to come get me. Yeah. They generally start early. My mechanic usually does either pick me up first thing in the morning or late in the afternoon. So, and usually late in the afternoon is when they're done. When they get me in the morning, it's usually something else. So we'll see. Early in the morning can be it's done too, generally, because you're looking at they start their day, they probably finished it the day before, or they finish it at the end of the day, they come get you. So I would imagine you'll have it pretty early because they've had it a little while, haven't they? Great. We'll be in touch on times, but we should be good. Yeah. I've already got it scheduled and the thumbnail put up. So it's advertised. So I'll see you in the morning or see you tomorrow afternoon at 1. Thank you guys for stopping in. And I'm glad you like my tarot card explanation. And don't be afraid of your tarot cards anymore. Thanks. Bye. My appointment is 7 a.m. And you got it there yesterday? Good. Okay, then it's probably going to be done. Love it. Love you too. And enjoy your car. Bye, everybody.